Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Lucifer here, business and spiritual consultant as always. And I don't have a face on for because it's a serious matter. So the Usyk match, the Anthony Joshua and Usyk match. I hate to tell you I told you so, but I told you so. I hate to tell you I told you so, but I told you so. Like, the thing is, you might think that Eddie Hearn is saying, like, okay, some of us have opinions. We're very opinionated about what's going on. I don't think that's like the only thing going on. I don't think it's just because we're opinionated, man. Like, some of us don't care about the money. Some of us actually want to see skilled people. It's not about like him knocking out someone. It's about skill. Boxing is about skill. It's not about like there's two like watch two people fighting in the street and then watch two boxers. You tell me the difference. You tell me the difference. Like, watch two people fight in the street and then go in the bar, watch a bar fight, and then watch a boxer fight. Tell me the difference. Tell me what's the difference. I don't know. I don't know what the difference is. I don't know nothing. But from my perspective, it does look different. See, me, I want to see I want to see skillful characters doing what they do best. Yeah, I was butthurt in my other video, of course, because I'm tired of seeing this dude lose for no reason. Usyk is a good boxer. I'm gonna give him that, but I'm tired of seeing this guy lose, man. This is weird. It's weird. It's awkward to watch. It's very awkward. I don't know what, and with the physique, the physical phenom that this guy is, he doesn't have a reason to not be top rank. I mean, sure, he has belts or used to have belts, but he can do a lot better than that. He can do a lot better than that. This isn't like, it's not about like me just being butthurt randomly. Like I tell you, everything is spiritual. Everything is spiritual. Everything. Everything is spiritual. There's nothing that escapes the world of spirituality. A lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people, this is the reason why I don't like the common trope of a spiritualist, dressing up in garments like these, wearing beads, wearing beads and stuff, and praying like this. Everything is spiritual. Everything is an extension of yourself. See, Buddhists decide to recluse themselves and meditate upon their connection to the universe, because they understand, but they also understand that everybody else is an extension of themselves. They also understand that every experience that they live is an extension of themselves. It's an experience that was first lived within, and then it is lived without. So even a Buddhist can have a good and a bad day. Even though he's reclused, he can still have a good and a bad day. But because he is reclused, he has more insight than other people. Because most people take every day for granted, not as life and death for granted. More so of the experience that we live inside, we think that it's an experience that we lived outside. So if you go to work every day, you work 40 hours a week, you go to work every day, you have 3 friends that are very good friends, and you always go to their house. So you finish working, you go to one of those guys' houses, or on the weekend you go out. You don't have time to recluse yourself. You don't have time to self-introspect and understand that the experience that you were living while you were at work and with your friends is actually an experience that you experienced within yourself before that happened in real life. So you go on about your life thinking that the experience was outside of yourself first, and then you can choose to live something within yourself. So some people will meditate, some 3D people, no offense, no pun intended, no offense, some 3D people will live their lives, will self-introspect, will meditate with the logic, with the subconscious logical thinking that they are living the experience within the self, without understanding that the experience that you are living within the self is actually projected outside of yourself, because you don't have the time. You don't have the time to analyze all these things. You got too much things to do. Drop the bags. You got too much bags. You're gonna miss the bus. That's what that means. Drop the bags. You got too many bags. Not your actual, not your material things. People always thinking that there's a common conception that you need to drop all your material things. No, you need to drop all your immaterial things. You need to drop all the things that you can't see. Because the things that you can't see are heavier than the things that you can see. The things that you can't see are heavier than the things that you can see. So you got to drop the bags. You got too much bags, you're going to miss the bus. Emotional baggages. Spiritual baggages. Intellectual baggages. You're thinking about too much things. Too much things. Intellectuals have many bags too. Intellectuals have bags that keeps them from achieving spiritual gnosis, because those intellectual concepts keeps them grounded to a reality that is immaterial. So it's like trying to throw an anchor into air and hoping that it lands on soil or something so you can stop flying. But those people always keep flying. They're always floating because they don't realize that there's nothing to anchor to. Everything is just air. It's all doesn't exist. It's there. It's like me. I'm here, but I'm not here. So people want to attack me. People want to do things. People are saying things, but I'm not really here, bro. Like, you're wasting your time. A lot of people are wasting their times. I waste my time too. I waste my time with air too. There's a lot of people that I talk about on YouTube that are just air. I'm wasting my time. It's a complete waste of time. But those people think they're actual people. They will feel offended if somebody calls them air. They will feel abrupt. You know, they will feel they'll feel things, negative things, because they don't want to believe that they're nothing but air. Swish. But that's what you are at the end of the day. You're nothing but air. You're a balloon full of hot air. You're a balloon full of hot air. You're just a balloon. 99 balloons. Like that song from the 80s. We're just air. That's all we are. We are frequencies. First step of evolution. The first step of evolution, the first step to godhood is to understand that you're just a frequency. I'm just a frequency. I can change dials. I can appear on another person's frequency and things like that, but I am my own frequency too. I have my own frequency. I come from a specific frequency type or frequency wave. By the way, if it's your first time joining my channel, welcome. My name is Lucifer, business and spiritual consultant, as always. And if you're wondering what is Lucifer doing on Earth, well, let me tell you. He's talking about everything the Earth is made of, which is what? Business and spirituality. So, in the last few videos, we have been talking about business and spirituality. So, I'm seeing some people are getting privy to professionals, which is a good thing. And it does take a lot of awareness, because the thing is, some people look at reality on a 3D platform, and other people look at reality on a fourth dimensional platform. When you're looking at the world on a fourth dimensional platform, certain 3D concepts that make total sense, that are basically true, becomes untruths. Because you're too advanced. You're in a higher plane of existence. You're in a higher realm. So you're looking at a 3D person's going to look at a basketball match. And that basketball match might have been rigged. But on a 4D platform, you're looking at a basketball match. It doesn't matter if it's rigged or not. What matters is the story that they're trying to depict. If there is a story, I'm not saying every match is like a clear-cut view on the higher realms and the higher dimensions. And I was thinking about something. I was watching this video and I forgot to mention something. I mean, like, which would have blown my video out of proportion. But who is King James? Number 23 of the Los Angeles Lakers. Lost Angels. King James of the Lost Angels. Why Los Angeles? Why not the New York Knicks? Michael Jordan played for Chicago. King James. This guy made it a mission to be seen as Michael Jordan for some reason. But his story hasn't played out the way it's supposed to play it out. Why? because he got Anthony Joshua. That's why. LeBron James is being Anthony Joshua. For real. He got Anthony Joshua, bro. Like, that's what's going on. Because sometimes these entities, and when I say entities, I do mean companies, franchises. These entities. Because if you sign a contract, it's going to be written entity. It's not going to say franchise. It's going to say entity. So these entities put a franchise behind a certain player. They give more motivation to a certain player. They have certain players that they will push to the forefront. Of course, it's mostly by his own effort, but it's at the right time and at the right day. Show up. You know what I mean? Right day, right time. So if you're capable of hacking the universe and showing up at the right day at the right time before a specific other entity shows up to the same rendezvous, you might be able to catch a fish. But you got to be patient. So you can't underestimate. We should not underestimate the cleverness of humanity, which we do on a consistent basis, because there's too many of us. There's billions of people living on the planet, so a lot of people don't recognize or don't pay attention, or a lot of people think they're small. I'm sorry, I don't want to be kumbaya. I'm not trying to be Dr. Feelgood, because I know y'all don't like that. I know y'all don't want me to make you feel good. You want me to make you feel bad. But nonetheless, well, you're not a big person. Whoever's watching, you're not a big person. But everybody else around you might be a big person. And they're just not aware that they're big people. Because everybody thinks they're small. Everybody thinks the world is big. The world is very small. The world is very small, especially compared to the sun. So because of that, because everybody thinks they're small, they don't understand the importance of themselves. Of course, it's not a good thing to take yourself too seriously, obviously. But still, you got to find a balance between knowing that you are and knowing that you are not. So King James, Mr. James, however you want to call him, didn't know why he is who he is. So this is the reason why he calls himself King James. But King James is only a franchise. King James is only a contract. King James is a goal that he set upon himself. But that is not the self. The goal is not the self. The goal is an objective. The goal is something that you're working on. It's a project. It's a plan. It's an ambition. You are not your ambition. Anybody could have chosen to become King James. Anybody could have chosen to play for the Los Angeles Lakers. Everybody can choose to play for the Los Angeles Lakers. The Los Angeles Lakers can, if it was possible, could literally hire everybody. And everybody would play for the Los Angeles Lakers. Everybody, your neighbor would play for the Los Angeles Lakers. Your kids, your mom, your dad, everybody played Los Angeles Lakers. But Los Angeles Lakers is not the self. Because behind that, behind the goal, behind the plan, behind the purpose, there's still a person. Who is that person? Why is this person important to the equation? why is this person here on the purpose for the purpose of reality? What do I have to offer to reality? Why is reality asking things of me? The reality is not asking things of you. You are whoever reality is trying to make you look at. In my other video, I said I don't do curses. Reality is pushing me to make curses, to curse a whole bunch of people, handing out curses like postcards. But I'm complaining about being myself. I'm complaining about being myself because I was cursing people since I was a teenager. It's like it's basically everything I know. You know? So who am I complaining at? Am I complaining at the universe, or am I even complaining, or I'm just reaffirming who I am, or I'm forgetting who I am in some cases, in some conversations. So again, some people might see it as, oh, I put myself in some trouble or some shit like that. Nah. No, I'm just trying to be a good person. I don't believe cursing somebody hurts. It hurts. It's not fun. The person can end up in the hospital. You know, he can crash his car. You can kill somebody with a curse, man. And if he ain't dead, he'll probably wish he was. You know what I mean, bro? Like, you can damage. You can do a lot of damage to a person with a curse. Like, so it ain't cool. So of course I'm kind of like, I've changed since I was a teenager. I'm like, you know what? I don't like this. This ain't right. I'm not doing the right things right now. That ain't okay. But just like Anthony Joshua, I'm trying to head towards the future, and now I got like ear things that I don't know how it works in my fucking ears and shit. I'm sorry, I'm being a dick. Okay, let me let me backtrack that one real quick, man. I'm sorry. Can't help myself. I'm a dick. I'm a bastard. And I am a bastard. I'm like Dark Schneider. Y'all ever watch that anime? Well, don't watch it because the anime sucks. You gotta read the manga. The manga is crazy. Fucking Dark Schneider. I'm fucking Dark Schneider. I'm Dark Schneider. Like, I got confirmation that I was Dark Schneider. I went at the store. On New Year's Eve. Went to buy myself some cigarette as always, because that's like the only thing I buy at the store. And there's this dude standing there, and he's looking at me. He's like, yo, you remind me of somebody. And I'm like, who might that be, sir? I don't know, a guy. And I'm like, what guy? Because I know a lot of people. It might be true. You know, I've seen a lot of people. I saw somebody just the other day that I was like, I saw you before. Like, I know you before. Like, I see people I know all the time. I see dead people everywhere, you know what I mean? Sixth Sense. So he's like, you remind me of this guy I used to know. It's like, who might that be? I might be that guy. Go, try your luck. Roll the dice. And he's like, his name was Schneider. And I was like, oh, but that's not my government name. But, you know. You know. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh no, that can't be it. And we went about our way. That was my confirmation. I'm Dark Schneider. You know? He's like, in case you want to know why I like Dark Schneider, if that's interesting to you at all, I'll tell you, because I really like Dark Schneider. I don't mind talking about him. Uh, he's this Luciferian kind of character that he was human. He was human once, but he was a wizard, and he did magic a lot. And one day he found a way he found a spell that could make him remember all of the spells. So he studied 1,000 spells. So now he has 1,000 spells inside of his mind. And because he remembers all the spells, so it's all controlled together in his brain, that made him super powerful. And he got so powerful at some point, he got arrogant. He got prideful. He got arrogant and prideful, and he went to fight God himself. He wanted to test his strength against God, because there's no human on earth that could test him. So he went against God. I feel the same way. That's who I fight on a consistent basis. I don't fight humans. I fight God. I'm too strong for humans. It's not even fair. It's like it's not fair. It's not. So I have to fight God himself. Like, he's the only one that can challenge me. So, and that's barely a challenge. That's barely a challenge. Like, even his not that great. So, so at the end of the day, I have to fight myself, because I'm the only person capable of destroying me. Which I mostly do on a consistent basis. Everybody fights themselves. I feel like I'm gonna be Dr. Feelgood right now after saying all that shit. Especially if you're gonna be jealous from hearing that shit. So I'm gonna be Dr. Feelgood right now, and I feel like that's an allegory for humanity. I feel like Dark Schneider is an allegory for human existence. Well, specifically for those people that want to achieve certain heights mentally and spiritually, even maybe physically. At some point, it's like King James. I don't think King James, he doesn't play against other basketball players. I don't see other basketball players being capable of challenging him. So the real challenge of King James is himself. He's fighting himself. He's not fighting to be the best. He might think that he's fighting to be the best, but that's, from my standpoint, I'm a fifth dimensional entity. So I can clearly say that from what I'm seeing, and by the way he's playing, he's not playing against the NBA. He's playing against himself. So I'm not gonna call him Dark Schneider, because that's my shit. So he's gonna find himself. He gotta find himself another cat that's like Dark Schneider and call himself that shit. But he's definitely a type, an archetype of Dark Schneider energy, where you are so strong and you're so above humanity as a whole in your current discipline, state, art, whatever, mentality or whatever, that humans are nowhere to be seen in your universe. You're so above and beyond the material realm that you achieve the point where the only person left to fight is yourself. That's why some people say kill the ego. You don't have to kill the ego, because this battle is far above just the ego. As a matter of fact, the ego might help you fight yourself, because yourself is stronger, is so strong. Like, it's yourself. So everything he can do, you can do. Everything you can do, he can do. Sorry, pardon my language. Pardon my, whatever. Pardon me. Everything you can do, he can do. So he's powerful. So he's the strongest character in this movie. Pardon the pun. It's like Scott Pilgrim. It's like Scott Pilgrim, right? Y'all ever watch Scott Pilgrim Against the World? That movie's awesome. But at the end of the movie, he ends up fighting seven guys. They all do kung fu. Some of them are super strong. Some of them had telepathic powers. Some of them had telekinesis. Basically died at least 3 times in the movie. Got his ass beat up. And he was whooping ass too. And the final boss was super strong. He had 2 life bars. It's kind of like a video game. It's a movie, but it's kind of like a video. And this guy had 2 life bars, and a katana, and a magical lightsaber katana. He literally died. He died. The guy killed him, but he came back. But he had to die. He had to understand. He went through a journey in the desert in the movie. He went through a journey in the desert to find himself and find a reason to revive himself. Because his destiny was not necessarily to lose, because there was other things going on, because Scott Pilgrim is very strong. If you watch the movie the first time, you're not going to get it. But when you watch the movie the second time, you understand why all these characters love Scott Pilgrim, why they respect him, why, or why he acts the way he acts technically. Because he's a very strong guy. No pun intended, no offense meant. He's a very strong guy. So that's why he's kind of a jerk. He's kind of an asshole. But he's a cute asshole. He's a cute jerk, but he's still an asshole. It looks kind of funny at first, but then you kind of like, I might not like this guy if I met him in real life. He's an asshole, So at the end of the movie, he ends up fighting himself. Himself is the strongest character in the movie, even though he just fought a guy that killed him with a lightsaber katana. But even that guy wasn't as strong as himself was, so he had to fight nigga Scott. Not nigga Scott. Nigga. N-E-G-A. Not nigga. Not N-I-G-G-A. N-E-G-A. Nigga Scott. So what was I saying here? Anyway. Screw it. I don't care what I was saying. I'll just make another video. You get the idea. I said enough secrets here anyways. There's enough knowledge in this video to get you started on your own journey to fight your nigga self. But I will say this before I go. The 4th dimension. Some people might be stuck on the 3rd dimension, and they're looking at things on the 3rd dimensional level. That doesn't mean they're wrong. If you're looking at things on the 4th dimensional level, that doesn't mean that you're wrong. What you need to understand is that you need to respect both aspects. So you need to have 2 brains. You need to start, when you start going into the 4th dimension, when you start seeing things on the 4th dimensional stance, you need to separate your mind. You need to understand that you were a 3D person too. You haven't always been a 4D person. I don't think so anyways. So you have to respect the 3D world, because that's where you come from. Again, kill the ego. But it's not the ego you got to kill. We're just not using the right words. We keep saying kill the ego, but it's not the ego that must be killed. It's you, the literal you. You need to die. So when you start looking at things on the fourth dimensional level, you have the fourth dimensional mind, which is you. And then you have the three-dimensional mind, which is also you. So you need to respect those two minds, because without the 3D mind, you wouldn't have been able to look at things on the 4D mind, because you have to understand the 3D before going into the 4D, and then you have to understand the 4D before going into the 5D. So that's the only thing I want to say. So this video is too damn long. Subscribe to my channel. Have a good one. Peace out.